What would Sari be up to in the time since that?
She's probably just doing normal sorry stuff, writing letters to Chief Mom and
Going on her monthly trip.
Yeah, going on a monthly trip. She took Caleb again.
Yeah. I think last time you and Caleb went, Abix gave you a little craft, the little kids' arts and crafts projects.
Mm-hmm.
From Altrian. They made a tiny cardboard version of their silver dragon.
Oh, that's adorable.
And apparently all he's been making are cardboard little silver dragons.
Little
Like
crafty boy.
every time he has paper, he uses the mage hand to fold it in the right way to make it look like their dragon.
That is precious. I love him.
Maybe you have two, Sari. Maybe he made you two.
Maybe he's made like a dozen and Abix is just like, his room is covered. Take them.
I'm begging. They're leaking out into the kitchen.
They're everywhere.
Soon the whole house will be overtaken by paper dragons.
Oh.
Maybe you and Altrian play a game of Dragon Fighter, and you punch a bunch of the paper dragons, and Altrian's just delighted.
All babies are delighted when someone punches a dragon.
He flicked his hand and he saw his mage hand knock one off of a stair, and they just clapped.
Delightful.
So Sari
can make things fall.
Yeah. So Sari came. Yeah. So Sari probably came home with a few of those paper dragons.
She thought she only had 2, and then Abix had put 6 more in her backpack.
Yeah, just dump them in there. Because he makes them, Abix is please, I don't want to cut down more trees. I need to get him to start making them with something more eco-friendly.
Make them out of dough, then you can bake them and have cookies.
Cookie dragons. Wait a second, why does that sound familiar? Oh, right, Cookie Tarrasque. Let's not go there, no!
I was yeah, Cookie Dragon. That sounds...
That sounds weirdly familiar to some bullshit we made up with months ago.
Yeah.
So, Sari, on one of your normal walks through town, I think you're pretty well regarded in Timshul now,
Yeah, she saved the town a few times.
Yeah, and I think she has friends.
Yeah, she's got friends.
Well, besides the Night Council.
Yeah, she's part of the Night Council. She's got friends besides Rowan and Andre. All those people.
So... what was I going to say? Right. So, you were on your walk, and you just hear a gnomish voice just kind of shout out, be careful, it's coming out! And out walks a fairly ornate designed machine. It is a black metal with silver trimming on it. It actually looks fairly beautiful. You could see the mechanisms inside it, though, with orange fire coming from its chest.
Ooh.
And it doesn't really have a face, more just a metal face plate.
Mm-hmm.
You do see sparks kind of kicking it in certain directions as it tries to move.
Ooh, that's probably not good.
Yeah. And as you do that, there are a group of 5 little kids, and they're running from it. Seemingly at first they were playing tag and having a happy run, and then it turned into, oh terror. God, run in terror. Yeah.
Oh, poor babies. Oh, so that's scary.
You just hear the gnome from inside just go, it's supposed to be a companion for people who can't really take care of real dogs. Who can't afford the food and expenses. They can keep one of these around, and it simulates the experience. It's just... it appears this one has gone a little mechanically rabid, so to say.
Yeah. It's hunting the children. Are you going to do anything about that?
I would try my best, but I would need it. I can reprogram it, but I would need to be a little bit more weak, I suppose. I'm a tiny gnome, and if it stirred against me, I would probably get kicked very hard. And I am an old man. I do not want to be punted by a robot dog.
That is fair, yes. Of course.
So, okay, he looks around, just goes, I will give you 50 gold pieces if you bring that dog, not destroyed, but deprogrammed. Yes, damaged enough that I could reprogram it. Also, I would really appreciate if those kids don't get hurt. I'll think of something extra for you if no harm comes to any of the youngins.
Okay, that is okay, sure.
So you just feel like a static in your mind as this tarot card friend of yours, Invo, just kind of whispers in your mind, just something to the effect of like, "Are we sure we're gonna do this?" But in rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any of the usual backup we usually do.
It's just a robot dog. How hard can it be?
I guess you're right. Let's do it. And you actually see at your side, Sari, this tall elven shadow that usually matches up next to yours, just kind of seem to be energized and seemingly excited to flex its muscles a little bit. So you and Invo are going up against this little robot dog. Uh, roll initiative, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going last.
What was your initiative?
Nat 1, but plus 4, 5.
Ah, that I can see why you'd think that. Well, let's see if you are proven correct. Because, I mean, this robot dog does not have the dexterity you do, Sari.
That is fair. Sari is very dexterous.
Invo got a 10. And the robot dog got a 12.
Yep. Last it is.
Okay. So the robot dog isn't chasing you currently. It hasn't really noticed you. It's going after the running. It sees it doesn't really see, it just sees like heat signatures,
Mm-hmm.
So it sees a bunch of running heat, and so it's chasing after the kids.
Oh, that's terrifying.
So it's going to use its action to run up and try and, I guess, basically try and kick one of them with its metal foot. It rolled a 5, so it tries to. It extends its foot, but the little kid, this little dragonborn, is able to kind of dodge out the way, and it trips on itself and just keeps moving forward.
That's good. It'll survive.
Yeah. On Invo's turn, he is going to give you the bless spell, so you can add a D4 to anything you do.
Ooh, neat.
Yeah, companion characters are awesome.
And very good when you have to go last in initiative.
Yep. So it's you now. With your monk speed, you could absolutely catch up to this thing.
Yeah. She's gonna run up to it really fast and she's gonna try and punch it just so it doesn't, hit anybody.
Yeah, try and punch it off course as it's running.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So roll to hit.
All right. That's 15.
That definitely lands. This thing does not have the most AC ever.
Alrighty. Where's my die? Oh my word, I just drew a blank for a half second on which die to roll for hitting because I've played D&D for years and I know what dice to use. So that's 1. D6 plus 4 is 5. And then I'm going to roll a D4. 9 total.
That's pretty good. Okay. You punch it for 9 points of damage. And let me check something really quick about it. You see more of the sparks kick inside of it from that punch.
Mm-hmm.
Like this blue light coming from where that fire red would be. And for a split second, you just see the dog just like jolt to the right.
Uh-oh.
And the misfire does 3 more points of damage to it.
Ooh, okay.
So, like, it's trying to regain its control, but then, like, that sparked up, it misfired, it, like, hurt more of the inner mechanisms, but then it just kept running a bit slower.
Okay.
So, on the dog's turn, now it views you as, like, attacking it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Whoops.
It's going to just kind of stop, look in your direction, even though it doesn't really have eyes, and just kind of prowl towards you with 50 feet of movement speed.
Oh, dear.
And I imagine this is happening in, like, a bit of a snowy area now. And it's midday, so you can see everything, but like this image of this black thing running through the snow is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Also a bit terrifying because it's running at you, trying to kill you.
Yes, that is correct. It's going to try and like prod you with its leg the way it did with the kid.
Okay.
That's probably gonna hit because that's a 16.
Yeah, it ties, so yeah.
Okay, so it's just gonna be you're just gonna be taking 2 points of damage from that.
Cool.
It isn't made to fight, you know? It's just that this misfire is making it chase after kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
on
not a wolf.
right. So on Invo's turn, he's gonna like realize that he's already cast Bless on you, and he's going to like you just see dark magic come from that shadow, and just kind of coat the dog. It failed to save, so it is now under the effect of Bane. So it has to take a D4 subtraction to everything it does.
Okay.
And in that time, you actually see the little kids who were running in terror after seeing you punch that dog are now kind of standing around and cheering.
Aw. Don't try
All
to
right.
settle the kids.
Yeah, it's your turn. Sorry. This thing is now under like this black magic cloud.
Okay. She's gonna try and like get it to tip over because she doesn't want it to run anymore. So she's gonna just like
grapple it.
Force it. Yeah, kind of like grapple, force it down.
Okay, so we'll make this a grapple check. So you roll your strength. I think it's athletics specifically. And
athletics. Okay.
What did you get?
That's a 5 if it's athletics.
What about just raw strength?
Reroll.
I'm just asking which one's better for you.
My strength is just -1, so I'm not a strong person.
Right. In fairness, the dog got a 6, so so while you don't tip it over all the way, I think you do knock it on its side for a few seconds.
Okay.
And while that doesn't necessarily give as much time as you'd wanted, it is enough time for you to probably move a safe distance.
She just wants to get like the kids out of the way,
Right.
knock the dog over, see if she can get it to go away.
Yeah. This D100 for the misfire, my thought was D100 50 and above, it's stable. It has gotten under 20 both times. So it's taking 4 more damage just because. So that's 34 HP. All right. Back to the dog. It's going to use its movement. So I don't think you like completely grappled it, but you probably knocked it prone. So it uses
which was kind of the goal.
Yeah. So it uses its movement to get up. Well, half its movement.
Bad dog.
And so while it can't move as far away as close to you as it wants, it moves a bit closer.
Okay.
And You see that metal plate just kind of open up a bit, and out comes this metallic, like, it's supposed to be a tongue, but it almost kind of can be passed off as a dagger.
Oh, that's
But,
terrifying.
and as it just kind of probes and prods, it's going to try and land a hit on you, but remember it has to take a d4 subtraction to everything it does. So that is 12 to hit.
Yeah, no, that doesn't hit.
So this metal like pole just kind of flings out and then it retracts back into the plate, and it just kind of, seeing all the heat signatures, kind of starts circling around itself.
Poor dog.
On Invo's turn, it's going to actually, okay, let's see how this works. This seems like a cool mechanic. Invo adds a charge to your ring.
Ooh.
So like a faint lightning spell comes out of its fingertips and hits Thunder Punch.
Nice.
So I don't know what you're at currently, but whatever it is, add 1 to it.
Okay. She's now at 6.
Nice. So it is now your turn.
All right. Wait, she did make 2 successful hits, and I forgot to add those.
That would be 8. I mean, if you were to strike it with lightning, lightning was what was causing the misfire inside.
So would it power it down, though?
It could, like... Okay, you know what? I think I have an idea, but just to see if Sari would know, just make an intelligence check and go with... And add that bless from Invo, don't forget.
Okay. That's 21.
Okay, Sari, you get the idea that if you were to strike this thing, it would basically cause a big misfire, which wouldn't destroy it beyond repair, but it would cause more of like a big one of those electric surges, which could turn it off.
Yeah, she's gonna go for that then.
All right, so you just kind of hold out your ring, and out comes this bolt of lightning. The kids cheer in excitement. So it has, what kind of saving throw does it have to make?
For the spell lightning bolt. Let me just pull that up real quick. I really should have had this pulled up before I decided to punch.
That's okay. Wait, nobody knows how everything works.
True. Dexterity saving throw.
Cool. And it has to take a -4 to that. Let's see how it goes. I can't describe what just happened. It rolled a 3, and the Bane was a -3. It somehow got a 0.
Amazing. I'm so proud.
So don't even roll damage. It got a 0. You just see this lightning bolt precisely hit in that, like, in just a little space between the mechanical parts, right into the inside core. It wasn't even the big bolts of lightning you do to destroy things. It was like a very precise, clever bolt, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Small and nimble, it danced inside the machine, causing another one of those blue misfires. And this one sends it, like, flying back a few feet, falling over into the snow. It's silver and black trim covered in, like, white. And it just kind of lays down. Not the red light inside of it now just turning, like, back to the gray. And you can tell it's not beyond repair. The entire skeleton remains. It just was shut down.
Okay, at least it's still fixable.
Oh, absolutely. You kept like the internal skeleton completely intact.
Yeah. I did
You
a
just
good job.
basically caused it to like overload.
Okay, so it's good then.
Yep.
Mostly.
All the kids now are just like screaming in excitement, clapping for you.
She like takes a bow.
Invo just kind of, the shadow dematerializes. Then inside your head, he just goes like, You do enjoy the spotlight, don't you, sister?
I mean, it's nice to get some of the credit sometimes.
I understand that. And as one of the little kids come up to you, there's a little Aethereal kid, and
Oh,
he kind of gives you a high five. And so it's like, how did you do that? How'd you get lightning out of your finger? That was so cool.
I have a magic ring that allows me to punch very hard and cast lightning. That's Nexoria's voice. I'm like something
Victoria inexplicably
like
appears in the show.
mid sentence. I'm like, this doesn't sound. Yeah, wrong character, Liv.
I love it. So, Sari imitates a voice they've heard once in their dreams.
Oh no. No, I can't figure out Sari's because I'm panicking. Uh, yeah, it's just I have this magic ring that lets me do lightning stuff. I found it in a cave with a bunch of creepy bugs, and there was a talking mouse.
Whoa, I want to see a talking mouse.
Have you guys ever met Sylvester?
Oh yeah, he's so cool. Like you just hear a bunch of little kids like accolading for Sylvester and how cool he is. And then you actually see like on the head of maybe like a Furbolg kid is like a very tiny mousefolk child,
Oh,
and he has like a little like he has maybe like a tiny half of a bird feather on his head, you know?
oh.
And he
Is he
just like
pretending to be like Sylvester?
yeah, and he just goes like when I grow up, I want to be just like him.
You do that.
Okay. And he just looks at the Furbolg, and you'll be my steed. Please don't ever call me that again. But your name is Steve. You just see the Furbolg kid breathe in, breathe out, and just go like, count to 5, count to 5.
Oh.
The older gnome just kind of walks up to you and just goes like, thank you so much. Starts picking up his machine, just goes, I do apologize for all of this. My name is Corvin. It's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too.
He kind of shakes your hand, just goes, as I promised, here's 50 gold, and for your troubles, come back to me in a few days, and I will have something special for you.
Oh, okay. Like a present?
Yes, consider it a gift, a present for you helping these people, and for not destroying my machine.
I mean, it wasn't hard.
I know, but you know, a more mean-spirited sort might just have decided to just break it because.
Well, I mean, it was kind of terrorizing some children.
It was. Well, thank you. And he just kind of walks away.
I would too.
Uh,
She's confusing.
yeah. The little kids keep cheering and clapping, you know, until eventually their fervor dies down. Some of them see shiny things and move into other directions. Some of them start playing again, you know. I think the little mouse folk actually asks if you want to play hide and seek with them.
Yeah, that'd be lots of fun.
Okay. Uh, he just points at the mouse folk. He's gonna be counting, but because he's so small, I'm gonna be his perch. So I'm gonna be counting.
Okay, that's fair.
So Sari, roll stealth.
Alrighty. Whoa, what just happened to my computer? Stealth. That's 18.
Yeah, it takes. You are the last one to be found.
Yes.
All the little kids have to combine their forces to find you, and eventually they do up in a tree. They're just like, "Hey, we wouldn't have looked up in a tree. That's really smart."
Yes. I'm really good at climbing stuff.
That's awesome. You should teach us how to climb someday.
I mean, I did teach Prince Caleb how to climb. You do have to get up the tree.
One of the little there's like a little elven girl who's like, "Really? That's so cool."
He also didn't know how to cartwheel. Do you guys know how to cartwheel?
A bunch of them start cartwheeling around.
That is adorable.
We know how to cartwheel.
Good.
At this point, there's like a warforged who walks out of Corvin's building, and unlike your regular warforged who look built for battle, instead of like a sword in hand, it has a broom. And it looks over towards all the kids and goes, "It is time for lunch." And all the kids just start like clapping and getting excited, and they kind of run in and they're just like, "Thanks, D23." And he kind of smiles a bit and waves them off.
Hmm.
And the warforged looks towards you and just goes, "Would you like to stay for lunch?"
Nah, I got other stuff I need to get done. But thank you.
Okay, no problem. Farewell. And starts walking inside, kind of gesturing the little kids in. But staying behind is one little dragonborn boy who
Oh.
still kind of has stars in his eyes looking at you.
Aw. Hello.
Hi, my name's Benedict. It's nice to meet you.
Ooh, I already love this boy. Oh, I'm sorry. It's nice to meet you too.
I know a lot about you guys. You and your friends. You guys fought some really ugly witches, and then you fought some other stuff, and you guys are really cool adventurers.
Oh, thank you.
Me and my friends, we want to be adventurers too someday.
And you should be. Being adventuring is really cool.
It is, and we even talked about which one of you guys we're most like, and I got you when my friends voted.
Oh, she's like really flattered.
The only thing is, I don't really know how to punch real good, but I do have a little sword, and it's real cool.
That is very cool.
She then goes, You saved us all from that little robot dog, and I mean, maybe all of us could have taken it, but it just came out of the front door so wildly. It was scary.
It was kind of scary, actually.
But you know what? If
What?
you want, I know you said you have stuff to do, but my dad is really cool, and I think he'd love to meet you. I mean, he's a bit older, but he's real nice. And after you helped me, I'm sure that he'll be like super nice because you helped me.
She kind of like doesn't know what to say, so she's like, "Oh, well, yeah, sure."
He nods and just sort of grabs your hands, like, "Come on, come on, come on! It's not far."
Oh, right now. Okay.
And as he's pulling you, you leave from this gnome's home, and you are in sort of a residential area in Timshel, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So while the town has when you enter the town from the main gate, there's a very simple, like, front-facing path that'll take you right down the middle to Calem's castle, since it's in the
Yeah.
center. On the left and right of those areas are big neighborhoods, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And around the castle, like, encircling it are the more businessy sides of town.
Okay.
So that's why the tavern is so close, because like all the businessy stuff is right around the center of the town, whereas like the rest of it is filled with homes and residential area.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So you're probably pulled from one of the neighborhoods down to the other, so you do pass the main street, and there are like vendors and shopkeepers and happy people. There's a turtle man who just came into town. Andre told you about him. His name's Lanu.
Sorry, like waves as she's being dragged past.
He waves by and just goes like, "Have a good day, Sari."
Bye, I guess. Have a good day too.
And as you kind of are pulled into this next little pocket, you make it to a pretty quaint home, rather small, even comparatively to the small homes of Timshel. And he kind of kicks in the door, just goes, "Dad, Dad, Dad, Dad." And you just see this older dragonborn man who has tiny spectacles on his eyes and a bit of a beard going. And he's kind of hunched a bit, and he walks with a quarterstaff. He just goes, "Benedict, what is it?" He goes, Dad. I met one of Caleb's friends today. They're so cool, and like pulls you in front of them. They saved me from a robot dog.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry.
Oh yes, all of us here know just a little bit. Nothing too much. We're not obsessive, except for some. He just kind of like glances off into the distance at that. Benedict just kind of goes up close and just goes, "He's talking about that cat lady.
Who's the cat lady?
She writes really weird stories. She once tried to
Oh.
get me to read some, and then my dad pulled me away and said that she was a bad person."
Oh. I don't think I've met her.
Well, anyway, Dad, I thought that you could show them the really cool thing you could do. And he's just like, "You think everything I can do is really cool?" It's like, well, because it all is, but I'm talking about the thing with the fireplace and the guitar. And he just kind of rolls his eyes a bit and looks at Sari and just goes, "I mean, if you'd like to stay and hear an old man perform, I wouldn't be against it."
Ooh, what do you perform?
He kind of like,
Is it like a puppet show?
a little. And he just kind of like goes to a cabinet in his house, opens it up very tenderly and slow, and pulls out a guitar case. He goes, "It's been ages since I've used this." Clicks open the little metal clasp. Walks over. There's like a few seats by the fireplace. And using his red dragon breath, he illuminates the fireplace and kind of asks you to sit.
She does. She sits cross-legged on the ground.
But before we start, would you like some water, tea? Is there anything I can get you?
I'm good. Thank you, though.
Uh-huh. It's no trouble. I just know people like that when they listen to something. And he kind of tunes up the within a few, he's performing, and it's a purely guitar instrumental piece. But as you kind of glance at the fireplace for a moment, you kind of blink and you realize he wasn't lying when he said it's kind of like a puppet show. Using some of his magic, he's actually making a vignette out of the fire in the fireplace.
Ooh.
So like it's probably this very like upbeat song, and the vignette shows this tiefling man who keeps walking up to elven women with a kind of, all of them shake their heads and he looks sad. And when he looks sad, the music kind of hits a low note too.
Mm-hmm.
But then it cuts to this elven lady as well, who, who's making floral arrangements, and as she plays, this very pretty part of the guitar happens, and the tiefling man comes into the frame with the magic and instantly seems to just stop and stare as they make these flowers,
Mm-hmm.
And the story just progresses through some funny bits of them trying to make flowers for her, until at the very end, he walks up with burnt and battered flowers that may not look very pretty, In the fire, you see them looking all wilted, but the elven lady vignette puts her hands to her mouth and gives them a hug, and that's where the little vignette ends.
Aww.
He just goes, "I've learned that one many years ago." It's an old tale, but I do enjoy it.
That's so cool.
Yes, bard magic is an interesting thing.
She gets down on her hands and knees and clasps her hand and with stars in her eyes. She goes, "Teach me."
Are you serious? I mean, I'd love to. It's been such a long time since anyone's ever taken notice of my craft. And Benedict just kind of chimes in, yeah, and it'll be so cool. Maybe you could teach us both. And he just was like, "Benedict, I thought you said you didn't want to be an instrument performer." And just, "I do want to be an adventurer, but I didn't know you could do both."
Well, yeah, duh, you can do lots of stuff. I mean, one of my best friends, Rowan, her brother plays this weird instrument thing that I don't know what it's called, and he travels around and he like fights people and saves the world and does all sorts of cool stuff.
Can I do that? And the older dragon just kind of chuckles and pats his son on the head and just goes, "You could do whatever you put. So if I put my mind to this, then I'll help you." He just kind of looks at Sari and just goes, "If you'd like to learn how to perform, I could happily teach you. I don't have a spare instrument."
Maybe I could make something.
Crafting your first instrument. That sounds like a interesting idea. That'd be very special. Benedict looks over at Sari and just goes like, yeah. Dad knows things about crafting stuff too. I don't know them personally, but I do have some books. And he just kind of like opens a bookcase he has, pulls open one and just kind of looks at it, kind of making sure none of the fire breath gets on it, just kind of breathes off some of the dust, and just kind of lightly dusts it a bit, and just goes, "It's a bit dated. If you want proper information, I'd suggest going to the library. I know the Furbolg there, Vi, has pretty good records of things, and maybe if you bring that back, we can work together, get started."
She like puts her hand to her head like to do a salute and says, yes, sir. I'll do that like right now.
Sari just kind of takes off, and the little dragon boy, "Can I go with?" And
she runs back. What?
"Can I come with you?"
If your dad says you can.
He looks over to his dad and just gives him the biggest puppy dog eyes. And he's sitting in like one of those old rocking chairs and just kind of chuckles a little and just rubs his head and just is like, you can go. Just be back in time for dinner, all right?" He nods and just kind of starts like standing back your side, Sari. And he looks at the older dragonborn, looks to you and just goes like, "If you bring that tomorrow, we can get started bright and early, all right?"
Yes, of course.
All right. And maybe before you come back, tell you what, if you come back early enough, I'll make some breakfast for us, all right?
Ooh. Like what?
Well, what do you like?
I mean, pancakes are good.
I have never said no to pancakes. All right, let's do some pancakes. And just kind of, you just see him kind of relax back in his chair a little and just wave off his son and just says like, "Be good, okay?" And so you two run through the streets of the town and make it to the library. Benedict looks up at you and just goes, "My dad's really cool."
Your dad is really cool.
And he just kind of looks at himself. Yeah. He looks at himself and goes, "I'm really happy I'm his kid." And Sari, I think this may be the first time you've noticed that while the red dragonborn older man is his dad, Benedict himself is a green dragonborn.
Benedict.
Yes.
If your dad's red, why are you green?
Oh, well, he adopted me.
Oh, that's cool. I'm adopted too.
Really? That's really cool. He just kind of like wonders how to approach the topic and just goes like, "Did you ever get to meet, your..." It's not important. It's dumb. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I'm a gnome, and I'm technically half adopted. Well, it's a weird story. I'm technically like half adopted by Abex. She's my teeth mom. But I don't. She like gets thoughtful and like slows in her walking as she continues. I don't really know if my dad is my dad.
Oh.
Well, the last thing he said to me, she's not even like talking to him anymore. She's just kind of like talking to herself as she continues walking. And the last thing he did say to me was, I'm not your dad, get out of my house. I never liked you, go away.
As you're talking, he kind of takes your hand.
She like jumps and is like, oh, I mean, yeah. But I mean, I have Abex and Altreon and Future Baby, who I swear better be a sister. And I mean, I got Calum. He's my brother now. And all my other friends are my family now, too.
That's really cool. Maybe I should start calling my friends my family too, because I do like them a lot, and I've known them since I was very little.
Yeah, friends are your family. Just
Yeah, it's a.
different.
Mm-hmm. He kind of looks over at you and just kind of thinks for a second. Goes, you know, if any of what your dad said is true, then he's really stupid. Because I don't see why he wouldn't like you. You're really cool. You saved the day. And you punch robot dogs. What's not to like?
She laughs. She's like, yeah, you're right. It must have just been something I imagined. I should go back there sometime.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Maybe
could
you
bring you
could.
with me.
Yeah, I'll help you. We'll both perform for them.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So once you and Benedict walk inside the library, that
Mm-hmm.
the older Furbolg gentleman Vi, who had the splotches on him, I'll see if I can find the art cast sent me. But he kind of smiles at you and just goes, "Oh my gosh, it's been such a long time. Sorry. How have you been?"
I've been pretty good. I mean, all things considered.
What do you mean by
You know,
that?
I mean, the scary portal to another dimension, the seven-headed beast thing that breathed fire, coming back and fighting a dream monster. A lot of stuff has actually happened, but I'm doing okay.
That is fair. He kind of pats you on the head, not in like a demeaning way, but in a very like happy you're here, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can tell when it's demeaning, like run along kid, or if
Yeah.
it's genuine. Yeah, it's definitely way more genuine.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he has like a bunch of scrolls and books on him at all times, he kind of looks at you and just goes, "So, what can I do you for?"
We need a book thing to find how to craft a musical instrument.
Oh,
I think.
that is interesting indeed. He starts like instantly walking towards a certain shelf, and he just kind of gives you the hand signal of "follow me."
She does that.
Benedict looks at you and just goes, "He's weird," but says it like
Um,
very quietly, just so only you hear.
why is he weird?
He just kind of seems. He didn't even say hi to me.
I mean, I didn't introduce you, so that's weird of me.
It's okay. He just kind of thinks about it for a second. Just goes, "Maybe it's because he's so smart. He already knows where to find it."
Yeah.
So the two of you just kind of follow after, and pretty true to Benedict's word, Vi already starts like parsing through not just shelves, but certain, you know,
Mm-hmm.
fractions of the shelf itself. He just goes like, "Okay, so this would be idol, this would be icon, and instruments," and just by like fanning out which parts of the shelf it would be, he starts walking towards a specific section.
Mm-hmm.
Then he just starts like counting off things on his fingers, thinking about it for a second. Pulls one of the scrolls out from his pocket, starts reading it, and just goes, "Right, right, right." Closes it, puts it back, and within a few seconds, he's like thumbing through a specific one of the book, and like hits the fifth one, pulls it out, kind of checks it, nods, and kind of grins satisfaction in his face, and just hands it to you, and just goes, "Crafting instruments basics would be here. This book would give you the general gist, but do you have any specific things you want out of it? Is there a specific type of instrument you want? Any specific spell you'd want it to cast?"
Wait, I can get it to cast spells?
Yes, all instruments for young bards could be a spell focus, but if you wanted to cast particular spells, that's a different enchantment.
Yes.
Okay, what kind of spells are you thinking?
I don't know. I want to cast spells like Rowan, but like Calum does cool magic too. Oh, and Altreon does really cool magic too. He knows how to cast Mage Hand now.
He kind of
Oh,
smiles a little bit at you and just goes, "We could make this so that way you have a so it's a idea of where you've people you've known
mm-hmm.
playing on your memories."
And what would that be?
Well, he starts thumbing through more books, thinking about it, and just like puts the fifth one back, moves a little bit, grabs the seventh and the eighth one in time, and just pulls them both out, very tender, not like in a rush, And you can
Mm-hmm.
see that like some mage has left like notes inside of it, like, through like extra scraps of paper. He opens it, just kind of like examines them a little bit, puts one of the little things on its eye on his glasses to make it see closer, and upon realizing they're kind of scratched off, just kind of puts them in his pocket. He doesn't want a litter. Then just closes the book, feels it, hands it back, and just goes, "In brief, you would need little trinkets that remind you of them. It's not so much important that they have magical property. It's more so your connection.
Uh-huh.
So if you have things that remind you of those people, if you were to imbue them with magic from an enchanter, you could perhaps put those inside the thing and get that working."
Hmm.
On top of all
But
of that, the actual instrument crafting itself is just going to take some metal.
hmm.
I don't. I don't. Just. I assume you may have some gnomish friends who can provide some scrap metal.
Yeah, I know a guy.
All right. So once you provide the scrap metal and the trinkets, you could speak to one of the enchanters in town, and they'll probably take it from there.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems easy enough.
I'm sorry to ping you around like this. Sorry. I wish I could tell you how to do those things. Enchanting items out of my area of expertise. I'm enamored by it. I'm fascinated by all sorts of magical things.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I can't do magic either.
It sounds like you're planning to change that.
She kind of like smiles and goes, "Yeah, I guess so."
Well, connecting yourself to any sort of magic is always an interesting experience. I hope it goes well for you. Oh, I do have one suggestion. And he kind of like pulls into his backpack that he carries on him at all times, flips around and hands you a blank book.
What's this for?
It's a journal.
For.
Well, I'd appreciate your any scribblings you can think of about your transition from someone without magic but with more spiritual prowess with ki to someone with magic. I think that'd be a very interesting experience to document for future people. But you could also use it to like describe your dreams. You could use it to just write about your day. Anything really. Anything's a story if you make it one.
Okay, I guess that's fun.
Yes.
I could write a book
About you.
about me. Yeah.
And Benedict just kind of goes, "I'd read it."
I know you would.
Vi just kind of immediately only now takes notice and just kind of goes, "Where are my manners? I'm so sorry, Benedict. I should have noticed one of my favorite readers in here. He kind of grins a little bit. Are there any more fairy tales yet, Vi? He goes, well, I mean, there's hundreds you haven't actually looked at yet. You've only seen the more recent. You keep asking if new ones keep coming in, but you never look at the older one. And he kind of thinks about that for a moment and just goes, so, like, how many are older? A lot. Whoa.
Like probably 100.
Vi just kind of chuckles and goes, yeah, like around 100 maybe. And Benedict just has like a big grin and just kind of looks at Sari and just goes, could you tell my dad that I'm going to be hanging out with Vi? I really want to read some of those books. He says, you could take them out. You'll just have to write your name on this little piece of paper that tells me that you're who the books are with. He just kind of blinks and he says, I can do that. Yes, you can do that. He grabs like 5 and writes his name.
Aww.
And so like as you two walk back, he has like 5 big books in his hands, and you have the 2 you need. And as you make it back inside this old Dragonborn's home, Benedict drops his books on the floor and goes, Dad, I have 5 books. Don't forget to bring them back to Vi on time. How much time did he give you? He gave me 3 weeks. That's a lot of time. I could read all of them in 3 weeks. And he just kind of lays on the floor and starts immediately opening one.
Aww.
The older Dragonborn, realizing that he's going to be out of it for a while, just kind of gives you a smile and silently waves you off.
All right.
He just goes, my son would probably have liked to say goodbye more formally, but as he... And he's already, like, reading things and just responding, like, making little sad, exciting parts.
Aw. I love him.
The older Dragonborn just kind of sends you off and just goes, don't forget, tomorrow for breakfast. And then we can go see about getting your instrument.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go find some stuff.
All right. And he just kind of gives you a pat on the back. Very, very just amicable, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of waves and closes the door when you're far enough away that him continuing to wave would be silly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't, like, slam it behind you. He waits until you're, like, out of eyesight, you know?
Mm-hmm. To be polite.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, sorry. You said you wanted to go find some stuff. What stuff are you going to go find?
I think she's gonna like. Well, Vi did say she needs to like have
Some metal.
emotional connections.
Oh,
to
yeah.
items and some metal. So she's gonna first pop off to Corbin's house and be like, "Hey."
The gnome just kind of smiles and goes, "Oh, welcome back." You see all the other little kids are like sitting around a table with little figurines,
Hmm.
and he
Are
just
they
goes,
playing their version of D&D?
"Yes." He just kind of goes like, but like, as he moves one of the figures, you hear one of them just go like, "But can elves do that? I don't know." They all look at the elf at the table. I don't know. They're just like, "Is that fair?" And like they're all asking Corbin, who just goes, "I'll be back over in a moment," and just goes, What can I help you with?"
I kind of need some scrap metal. Do you have any leftovers?
Oh, I always tend to have leftover from my work. He kind of looks at the kids and just goes like, "Give me 5 minutes, okay? Don't do anything crazy while I'm working." And you just hear the little ones just go like, "Okay, but like that's a real dragon in that." And you see like a plushie on the table. It's like, but how do we get out? How do we get out of this dragon's cave, guys? We have 5 minutes to come up with a plan that'll blow his mind. And so
I love these kids more than anything.
they want to be real adventurers, so they're practicing at a table. So as this little gnome man comes up, like a cart full of scrap metal, maybe you actually see one of those dogs that he, but instead of all like seemingly aggressive looking, that red light is now blue, and it just kind of walks a cart of metal on its back. Very just friendly.
No.
It looks over at you, and maybe instead of the black trim, this one's got a bit more of like a white.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of pets the top of its faceplate and just goes, "How much metal would you need? I'm sure little Sparky here could get it."
I don't know exactly.
What are you
A
trying to
lot?
make?
I'm trying to make an instrument.
Ooh, what kind of instrument? Do you have a preference?
She thinks for a minute. I don't really want to make a metal guitar.
Okay.
No, I don't think strings would be good. Maybe like a flute?
Okay. What kind of flute? There's one with 5 different attached, or there's one with a different sound.
Like panpipes?
Ooh, very cool. And you see this old man just kind of like through something, maybe like a pamphlet. Exact material. Ah. And he just starts like fiddling around. He has shells, pulls them out, and there's like a bunch of one specific part, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So he grabs like 3 of those pieces and 4 of those and grabs a bunch of the pipes, connecting pieces, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Pushes back all the shelves after he's pulled out all of the shelves he needs, then just puts them back onto this little tray that the dog's holding. And it just like he smiles a bit and just goes like, "Those should be everything you need, unless you're planning to do anything extra."
I don't think I'm planning on doing. Well, I mean, I'm going to make it magic.
Ah, so you're going to need some sort of focus in there, yeah?
Yeah.
He thinks about it for a moment and just goes, "I don't have the most poignant, but do you have any friends who know magic who might be willing to give you an extra?"
I have lots of friends who do magic.
Okay. He just kind of thinks for a minute and just goes, "All right, all of the uh, all of the things here should line up. So long as you go visit your friends, it shouldn't be a problem."
Yeah. Right. No problem at all.
The little robot dog he kind of sits next to it and kind of taps on its head piece a little bit, and some clockwork gears show up. He spins them a certain direction, you know, closes
Mm-hmm.
again, just goes, "It should follow you back to where you're going to go and leave the material there." The blue light dimmed when he scrolled the gears, and then it turns that bright blue white again, and just seems to like kick up and follow you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you don't have to worry about carrying it, basically.
Okay. That's helpful. Yeah.
And so as the dog kind of follows you back, you see Corbin kind of go back to the kids and just go, "So, what did you think about? What if we used a rope?" And that's like the last part you hear as you walk out. And Corbin didn't charge you because you helped him out earlier.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
So as you
I saved a bunch of kids and didn't destroy his dog.
he gives you some scrap metal and you can make an instrument. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's fair.
where are you going to hit up for those trinkets?
Uh, I think she first goes to Calum because that just makes sense for her.
Okay. So when
If
you
she's
make
going to talk to anyone about anything magical, she's going to go talk to her big brother or little brother.
so as you like open the door to the castle, because the guards already know you, they're not going to even try, you know.
Yeah,
You just
it'd be
kind of
kind of
see
dumb if they
you
tried.
just yeah, you just kind of see Calum sitting at the table, and he's flipping through it, checking something, and like he's like working on magical, the red orb that he grabbed from Jarlaxle way back when, and Ellen. And you just see him like flipping through pages, reads a line, looks at the orb, tries to do something, flips the book again. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Sorry, how have you been? I didn't see you much today. Have you been up to something?
Yeah, I mean, I saved a bunch of kids from an angry robot dog. I met a cool dragon guy, and I'm gonna learn music.
Ooh, very cool. You know, I know how to play an instrument.
What instrument can you play?
I can play the violin. I can't do magic with it at all. That's not my thing. My magic is from books, but I can play it, I guess. Basically,
I
Caleb would
mean,
have a proficiency, but he would not be a bard.
yeah, that makes sense.
He just kind of goes, maybe when you learn instruments, we can play together.
Yeah, we could do like a duet thing.
Yeah, it'd be so cool. And he just starts like, it's been a while since I actually looked at any of my old music books, but maybe I can find something for us to play.
Yeah, we could write our own song.
Yeah. And then he just kind of thinks, we could play it for Abix next time we see her.
Yeah, she'd be so impressed.
Mm-hmm. What would you then pauses? Do you need my help with any of it?
Yeah, I want my instrument is gonna have magic in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I need like an arcane focusy thing.
Oh, Caleb thinks about it
Like
for a moment.
something really important.
Caleb thinks about it for a moment and just goes, "No, I can't." He looks at the. While getting this out of my hair would be funny, I don't think giving it to you would help much. Plus, it wouldn't fit in an instrument. But I think I know. He kind of like books it down a flight of stairs in the castle. Asks, could hear him talking with Lothar, and he comes back up and just goes, "This was Lothar's when he was really, really alive."
Really, really alive.
And he hands you a it's a little fractured now, but it is a. He goes, it's broken up into pieces, but that means it'll fit easier on an instrument.
Ooh, awesome.
Mm-hmm. And he just goes, and if you want, at that at that point, his little pseudo dragon Ernest just kind of clonks him on the head by landing, and he just kind of trips a little bit. He goes like, "Hey, Ernest, I may have a ponytail now, but that's not an excuse to climb on it." The little
How
dragon.
tall is how like long is Caelim's ponytail that Ernest can climb it?
Well, pseudo dragons are tiny,
True, but
so
still.
yeah, it's a bit. It's not too long. I think he's kind of more poking fun because Ernest probably swiped it with claws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So he kind of looks at you, Sari, and just goes, "Well, is there anything else I can help you with? I know crafting an item with magic is pretty new for you. Is there any way I can help?"
Mm, do you know any like metal worker, enchanting people I could talk to after I get something else to add to it?
There's a couple work really close. They're a Sonera Coker lady named Penny and a Fire Ganassi lady named Cinder.
Yeah, and would they be able to help?
I think so. If I remember right, he kind of starts like, putting his finger to his chin. If I remember right, they help make one of the staffs. I don't remember which one, but they helped either me or Nellian, or they helped someone make one of our magic staffs. So I'm sure they can help you with your instrument.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to start.
Yeah. Yeah. Once I find like other stuff, though.
Okay, what other stuff?
Well, I kind of if it's gonna have spells, it's gonna have like magic that you can do, and maybe magic from Ultron, and maybe magic from oh, maybe if it has magic from Ultron, I could add one of those million silver paper dragons.
All right. That sounds
And
like a good
and
idea.
and I need it. I could use a spell from Invo. I mean, voice in my head. If
Nice
you speak
save.
it,
It's a really specific caveat on the curse that I have, but good save.
just don't say his name.
Yeah, good save though. Good save. Um,
Some
Caleb,
would argue that it is not a good save, but I'll count it.
it didn't trigger the curse.
Yes. No
So
cursing today.
yes. So Caleb just kind of thinks about it and goes, "So you want something from me?"
Yeah, something like special that I could get some of your spells from because you do really cool magic.
Oh, he thinks about it for a moment and just goes, "Well, sis, I think there's one thing." And he kind of scrambles up to his room a bit, and he comes down, and he has. It looks like a much smaller version of the staff he was holding.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I had this when I was real little. Of course, as I got older, we had to get a bigger staff. But, and he kind of like gets to the center of it where this blue little gem is, and he just kind of uses his finger and pops it out,
Mm-hmm.
catching it in the other hand, and hands it to you and goes, That might make a nice addition, yeah?
Yeah, it would. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think hopefully it'll help. If it's not enough, maybe you could come back and I'll find something else.
I think it'll be plenty.
Okay. So what are you thinking to get stuff for Altrian and your your voice brother?
I think maybe for them I could get, well, maybe the tarot card for Voice Brother.
The shadow kind of nods and just feels like I don't need it anymore.
Yeah, yeah, that's useful. Um, and then I could maybe use a paper dragon from Altreon. But what do I do for Andre and Rowan?
Well, can
What do-
Andre doesn't cast spells.
Yeah, that's fair.
For Rowan, I know she really likes flowers, creatures. Find a really pretty flower,
Yeah, a flower would be cool.
a flower that reminds you of her. I think it has to do more with the memory of the person that we're talking about if it's actually, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
You do
memories and stuff.
you do have it easy with Altrian and your brother because tarot card and the paper dragon are just lying around your house.
Yeah.
For Rowan, though, you could actually see him scratching his head a bit. Just I, I guess maybe a flower that reminds you of her would work. Wouldn't
Mm.
be as potent as the others. Altogether, we get the job done.
Yeah, it'd work.
All right. Do you need my help, or do you think you should? Do you need my help picking a flower, or do you think that that's all you need?
I think I should be able to get it. It's
Okay.
just a flower, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's. I know you could go talk to Janice. He runs a flower garden.
Yeah. She like was totally on board with it, and then she like remembered Janice, and she's like,
Him and Rowan are really close. Maybe he has something that reminds him of her.
yeah, maybe. But he's weird.
That he is. But, I mean, you know, can't all be perfect, right?
Yeah, true.
Plus, he's fun to have around at parties.
Yeah, especially when he makes you drink tea.
Yeah. His
I
tea's.
never drink. Don't drink the tea.
Good idea. Good word of warning. So you and well, actually I think you're leaving Caleb there, right?
Yeah, she's just gonna walk over to Janice then. Like, just walk on over to his house and see what's up.
Okay. So he's probably hanging out front porch, chilling out. What do you think he'd do? He's just kind of sitting at his porch.
Hi, Janice.
Oh. Sorry, it's been a while.
Yeah, it is. It's been a while. Do you have any flowers that remind you of Rowan?
Huh. That's an oddly specific question, but wouldn't you know it, I do. Kind of says, meet me out back and I'll get you one. And in a few seconds, he comes back and has a really pretty pink flower. Kind of points up a bit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes like, it always reminded me of her hair.
Oh.
He kind of seems to drift off a little bit, but then shakes his head and just goes like, why do you need this?
Oh, I'm gonna make a really cool musical instrument thingy mabobber.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I want it to have, like, spells that remind me of my family and my
Mm-hmm.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna add things to it. Caleb said I should add memories,
That
like
seems right.
a spell from everybody.
Right. That's really
So
cool.
I'm collecting things.
You know, I am a little bit of a bard myself. I'm more of a druid, but I dabble.
Hmm.
So, but I never made my own instrument. I just more bought one and got started, you know? Your dedication to making one's really special.
I want my first instrument to be very special.
That's a really cool sentiment. He just kind of thinks about it for a moment and just goes, if you ever want to, I don't know, borrow any of my stuff or maybe we could practice together, I'd happily help.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, music's important, you know?
Yeah.
With all these dragons and monsters and cultists and all sorts of other things, it's nice to have people who have magic out of making people happy.
Yeah, it's special.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. And he just kind of hands you the flower and just goes, if you need anything else, you know where to find me, okay?
Yep.
He kind
Thank
of,
you.
no problem. You want some water? Anything? It looks like you've been running around. And is that our robot dog?
Oh my, I almost forgot he was following me.
Kind
No, I'm good. Thank you though.
of, what's the deal with the robot dog? Are you taking up Artificer too?
No, he's just carrying stuff for me.
Oh, that's nice.
It's very convenient.
Incredibly. He just kind of shrugs a bit and just goes, who am I to judge? All right. I'll see you later. Sorry.
Bye, Janice.
You kind of make it back to your house now, and with the paper dragons and the tarot card and the flower and Caleb's little gem all kind of taking a spot on your table, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Are you putting one paper dragon or are you just like scooping it?
I think maybe she's got 3.
Okay. 3
3 out
paper
of the
dragon. Yeah. So
3 out of the 20 million.
so as you trudge through the floor covered in paper dragons to get to your bed, the robot dog drops off the little pieces and runs back off to Corbin's house. And it's getting late. Sorry.
Maybe it's time for bed.
I think after a long day of side quests and fetch quests, it's time for Sari to take a nap.
Yeah.
As you sleep, Sari, you, in your dream, at least you think it's your dream, You end up at a table, and it reminds you of Abix's house. It's just things are a little wrong. Like, for example, Abix always puts red flowers on the table, but these flowers are blue, and the windows are on the left side, not the right, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost perfect, and that's what makes it a little strange.
This is weird.
As you touch the table, Sari, it has weight. It has substance to it, which isn't normal in dreams. There's a sound like maybe a fireplace roaring in for a moment, and you realize you're sitting across the table from someone.
Oh, hi. I'm
She,
sorry.
oh, you don't need to introduce yourself, Sari. I know all about you. She is a dark
Oh, that's
skinned.
not creepy.
She's a dark skinned high elf with blonde hair, very pretty eyes, and some sort of sage like robe.
So, who are you?
I guess he hasn't talked to you about me much. Or maybe he has never showed a picture. That's probably more likely.
Who? Who's never talked to you about me? I mean, you're just a person in my dream, so I'm not quite sure who you are.
Right. This is weird for all of us. Hello, Sari. My name is Anna. Nice to meet you after so long.
Anna sounds like a really familiar name. Like really, really scary familiar.
Caleb
Like
was a good friend of mine.
oh, you're her.
Yeah.
That girl.
Uh-huh. She kind of shrinks in her a little bit. I
Oh no. What but but you and Caleb was really sad and he's my brother and you're not here. Wait, this is just a dream, right? Right. Well, yeah. Wait, so if this is my dream,
mhm.
I can close my eyes and wish really hard, and Caleb will show up and he can see you again, and then he won't be sad and he won't
He's
miss you.
he misses me.
Yeah, a lot.
She kind of like looks down a bit and just goes, before we get much further, Sorry, do you want anything? Water, candy? God, it's been forever since I've had cake.
Okay, kind of sounds good.
It is a dream, so I mean, make the most of it, right?
Yeah,
She
we
kind of
could have.
she kind of waves her hand, and a plate forms in the middle, meant for cake. Any cake you like?
We could do chocolate cake.
I like the way you think. She snaps her fingers, and a really nice chocolate cake appears. And she snaps her fingers again, and two slices cut up just for each of you on either side of the table. This is a little weird. I'm basically speaking to you from the dream plane that you visited.
Oh, you mean? Don't tell me I'm gonna have to fight you. You're the creepy dream monster.
No, no, no,
I
no, no,
don't
no,
want to
no,
have to fight
no,
you.
no,
Caleb would be
no,
so upset.
no. You don't have to fight me.
I don't
Sorry.
want to hurt my brother.
Of course. She kind of smiles and just, I've wanted to say thank you. You've Caleb has dreamed about me coming back for a very long time, and ever since you came around and Abix came around, you've been family to him, and you've made him happier than he's been in a very long time. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Of course. I love Caleb. Well, I can't say he's my favorite brother. That'd be cheating, since all of my brothers are my favorite.
I think that's what I like about you. I've been, even though I'm not on your world and I may have died, but as your tarot card friend has shown you, and Lothor, spirits still have some power to them.
Especially if you're my brother.
Uh-huh. So,
And low floor.
I think of me like that for right now.
Like Lowthorn. Can you
Kind
make a party?
She kind of thinks about it, snaps her fingers, and a party hat appears on her head, and she just goes, I'm not going to keep this forever, but I like it while I have it. And she just kind of smiles at you and just goes, back to what I was saying. You just have a way of making people happy, Sari. And I think sometimes in trying to make people happy, other people don't really get it, you know?
Yeah.
You're willing to do anything for other people, and that's really admirable. But I'm really happy to see you're doing everything you can to fight for your own beliefs and become a performer because it makes you happy. I think Calum and everyone else in town would agree. Seeing you trying to make yourself happy makes all of us really happy too.
Really?
Yeah. And anyone who disagrees doesn't to be your friend, and they're not worth the effort. It's a rough lesson to learn that not everybody's going to end up being super nice. But it makes the people who are really nice all the more special, yeah?
Yeah. It does.
I mean, the fact so many people want to be your family just kind of shows that there are some good people. People worth being your family, you know?
Yeah.
She kind of smiles and just goes, I'm sure you have a lot of questions about how a ghost can be talking to you in the dream plane. But
I mean, just another day at the office.
oh, you don't know the half of it. She just kind of puts her feet up on the table and kind of like takes the slice of cake and puts it in her mouth, kind of chews it a little, swallows it dramatically, and then just kind of puts her hands on her head and just goes, So, few things, because I'm sure you're kind of curious. And when I talked to your friend Andre, she had a load of questions. Uh, no, you're not dead.
Oh, I didn't think I was dead, but
Okay.
now I'm starting to worry.
Well, Andre asked that, and I just figured I should just get that out the way.
Fair.
You're not dead, just dreaming. You'll wake up and everything will be normal. Um, yes, I have been kind of watching you from the ethereal plane.
Like a ghost mom?
Sorta. Maybe more of a ghost sister. Or yeah, maybe a ghost sister way to think of it.
Well, I mean, Caleb likes you a lot, and Caleb's my brother.
Yeah, maybe that's a little weird then.
S- yeah, sister, half sister, sister in law.
Let's say ghost friend, and then we'll see how things with Caleb work out, okay?
I mean, that's fair.
She kind of chuckles a bit and then just goes, I I have been watching for a while and I've been helping in the little ways I can. You guys have been up against a lot of pretty scary things, and showing up to help Caleb at the dream when you were fighting the monster was my most dramatic appearance. Don't get me wrong, and oh, believe me, flair for the dramatic. Oh, on brand. But I've been helping you in other ways too. You know, way back when everyone in town was getting sick,
Yeah.
you guys were fine, and that's why Caleb used you to help save the day and fight the hags.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of gives you a smile and just goes, Well, no, Mish. Immune systems are nothing to sneeze at, sorry, but I helped you out a little bit.
Are you saying you picked us to be Caleb's family?
I couldn't make your choices for you. I picked a lot of people, and not all of them worked out. I don't think of it as choosing your destiny for you. Think of it as like a game of hide and seek.
Oh?
I was trying to find people, you know? And some people were willing to play and other people weren't. But the people who were willing to play, I mean, I hope we've had some fun.
Mm-hmm.
Even though there's a lot of scary monsters, there's been some nice times too.
Yeah, there's been lots of nice times.
Yeah. So, after a lot of thinking and a lot of planning, a lot of finding the right people, I think I'm ready to put on a pretty big show, Sari, but gonna need your help.
You name it and I'll do it. Anything to make Caleb happier.
I could give you a hug right now if I wasn't incorporeal. All right. So, being away for so long has been really hard. Watching people grow and me not being able to be there. Seeing birthday parties and family reunions that I couldn't be part of. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And all that time, all I wanted, the only thing I could dream about was being back with you. Not just you specifically, but all of you guys. I've grown really attached from watching and helping and seeing the way you've made Caleb happy again. I want to be your friends, not just in the spirit sense, but I want to be there. And I think I know how.
Yeah?
hmm I ran these steps.
How would you do that?
I ran these steps through with your friend Andre. But in brief, Andre has more detail, and she'll fill you all in. And I'm going to be talking to Rowan very soon as well. But in brief, that red orb Caleb's been obsessing over,
Yeah?
that is a lot of powerful magic, and I think we can use that. There's an old book. I wouldn't have it, but it's in this place called the Arcanum. It's in the Old Town ruins. Maybe Lothor can help you. But inside of it, there's a book that has a ritual, a really powerful ancient spell. And if it works, and we use the red orb to make it work, I could come back. So we have the way to make it work. We have the thing that'll make it work, but the person who can do it. And that's going to be your brother, Sari. I'm going to need you to help Caleb out here. You learning magic is going to definitely be one of the pushes he's going to need. He's going to be very powerful to cast the spell, more powerful than he is already.
And he's already a super powerful wizard.
But this is ancient stuff we're talking about. Plane breaking stuff. If this goes wrong, we could be in a lot of trouble. So we need to make sure.
Die?
I don't know about that, but there's a lot of scary people who don't want this to work. But I believe in you and Andre and Rowan and Caleb. I've seen you guys do amazing things. You managed to make it home from another reality. You've stopped a curse put on by 3 incredibly powerful witches. You've done amazing things. I wouldn't rely on anybody else to do this for me. You guys have proved yourselves time and time again, and I'm really proud of you.
Thanks.
She just kind of sits a little bit and just goes, I wasn't lying, Sari, about him being really happy with you. having a family again is something he's almost never had. So, you giving him that experience is something he's never going to forget.
Yeah.
And he really, really loved you. I know sometimes you may crack jokes, but at the end of the day, he really does love you. And so does Rowan, and so does Andre. And if they make it somehow seem that they don't, it's because they're trying to hide. You just have to find that, okay?
Yeah, like a game of hide and seek.
Mm-hmm. And look at the way you inspire people. That little dragonborn boy.
Yeah, Benedict is sweet.
Your story has impacted people, and it will continue to do so. I've just been watching, but I've been moved by the things you've done together. This is gonna work, Sari. I believe it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be awesome.
So, one last little push, all right?
All right.
And you wake up, and yeah.
That was a really weird dream.
And as you kind of sit up thinking about that, Sari, you feel a little different. A tingle, a magical tingle. You realize the one thing you didn't have besides an instrument was the innate magic to pull it off, and you think maybe she's helped you with that part too.
Whoa. This feels really weird.
Your brother just kind of appears as a shadow and just goes, "Yeah, what happened?" You kind of blanked out a little bit.
I think I fell asleep, which is something I'm not usually able to do.
I know, I usually have to do a little thing to make you fall asleep.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got some rest, though. We do have a big day today, making your instrument.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Don't forget anything when we head out, and let's go meet up with your tutor.
Yeah. She just like keeps nodding and kind of staring blankly out at the wall as she tries to process the dream.
Invo is usually sort of your alarm clock. So
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of been trying to just be like, all right, time to get up, ready to go, but then like I think seeing that this is actually weird and different, the shadow will actually like on the other corner of the bed just kind of look at you and just go, is something wrong, sis?
I I don't know. I think everything's fine, but I had a really weird dream.
Talk to me about it.
Okay, so I was in this room and it looked like Abix's house, but like everything was kind of a little bit weird.
Like someone was trying to recreate it, couldn't get it perfect.
Yeah. Like the flowers were blue instead of red, and Abix hates blue, so you know.
Oh. So someone in your dream tried to replicate that?
Yeah, I thought I'd have to fight her, but she was really nice, and it was a lady, and her name was Anna, and it's Caleb's like really good friend that he loved.
Huh. Invo kind of thinks about that for a moment and just goes, well, spirits do have power.
I think she like looks at her hands. She's like, I feel weird.
Do you think she tried to possess you?
Not probably not.
Here. And he's going to cast Detect Magic on you.
Okay.
And usually when he does this, there's nothing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine when Invo casts it on you, it's like, you know how blacklight can pick up stains that you wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
see?
Yeah.
It's like a magical blacklight, and on you, there's actually stuff pinging, and it's just like, no, I don't think she tried to possess you. I think she does it again, keeps looking. I think she gave you some sort of magical boon.
A magical what now?
He kind of thinks about it for a moment and just goes, I think she gifted you a part of her magic.
Why would she do that?
So you can go from being a performer to a bard.
She like blanks out completely. What?
You don't just have to play an instrument and use the instrument for magic now. So you're an honest to God bard now, I guess.
Huh. Well, okay, I guess.
Monk bard, monk bard.
Bunk? Mard? Yeah, I'll figure it out.
We'll see. He just kind of, the shadow just kind of puts stuff together for you. Just goes, it sounds like you've had a pretty rough, well, very nice, but still strange sleep.
Yeah.
So I took the liberty of putting things together for you. Do not want to be late, but maybe after you craft your instrument, maybe we should go speak to Caleb.
Yeah.
All right. The shadow just kind of takes its usual spot next to you and just goes, "We got this, all right?"
Yep. Got it.
So taking the pieces, you make it to Benedict's house. His old dad just kind of nods approvingly at the pieces, and you would walk together to Penny and Cinder's workshop.
Mm-hmm.
There would be a Fire Ganassi girl who's kind of has goggles on her head and a more like metalworks getup. Her hair
Yeah.
probably long and put back in a ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's kind of jumpy too. So as she just kind of hops around, it always kind of springs in the air. And next to them, well, a little bit in the back of the place, being a bit more calm, is an Aarakocra who has darker feathers and a bit more stout, more resembling a penguin than a hawk.
Aww.
And she's in the back keeping inventory, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Cinder would greet you and just go like, "So, oh, you already have the parts you need?"
Yeah.
That
I
never
I ran
happens.
around town yesterday collecting everything.
That never happens. She just kind of like takes the piece, looks at the magical stuff, and just goes, "Instrument of some kind?"
Yeah, I want to make like panpipes that can do magic and stuff.
Hmm. Well, this looks like everything you need, no more, no less. You must have had a lot of smart help.
Yeah. My brother Caleb helped me.
Hmm. Her, like, she seems to completely miss that one as she's just lost in thought. She collects the pieces in like a snatching motion, goes, "Penny, guess what?" And just the back, the Aarakocra and her kind of seem to have a moment together. And as you kind of sit there for a little waiting, uh, they come back maybe 30 minutes later
Mm-hmm.
with it all crafted, a little hot to the touch still, but crafted nonetheless. And it's a set of panpipes with the gems that you've been given, like on the top, ornating it.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell that the paper has gone like into like maybe some of the wooden connecting pieces that connect the pipes.
Yeah.
And you can see like little on the wood, still little remnants of Altrian's coloring of the dragons. Like he like took a white crayon to them.
Aww.
It's a little bit of a mess, but you wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it fits the Sari aesthetic
Indeed,
along
it
with her
does.
hat.
Yep. Did she bring
That
her hat today?
of course she did.
Awesome. So she, with the hat and the pipes, she maybe touches them a little and they kind of burn. And Penny just kind of looks at you and kind of chuckles a bit and goes, "Here," and finds like a wooden case, puts them in like the felt of it, just closes the case. "Here, you won't burn yourself this way, darling."
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Cinder just kind of chuckles and goes, "I was so excited to get started. I completely forgot to cool it down. I'm sorry."
No, I'm sorry, but yeah,
Hmm. That's a fun name. How many times do you get to do that to people?
a lot. It's no one seems to get it that I'm sorry.
Sorry. I mean, she like thus begins a cycle of Cinder saying sorry, sorry, and then laughing to herself.
Oh dear.
Penny just kind
Sari
of
laughs awkwardly because she doesn't get it.
Penny just kind of gives you an embarrassed smile and just goes, you know how they be. Here,
Sure.
it it'll be 20 gold for everything.
Sari counts out 20 gold out of her pocket and gives it to them.
Thank
Because
you.
yes, she walks around town doing cartwheels with 20 gold pieces in her pocket.
I mean, you didn't really save them from a robot dog.
Yeah.
She just goes, "Thank you. The money really does help. This is something we've always dreamed of doing together, you know?"
Yeah. And that's really cool, you guys.
Cinder's still just like in the corner mumbling to himself about like ways to make that joke funnier. She's a little she's a little unique, but I love her anyway.
Yeah.
She
That's why you love
smiles.
her. She's fun.
Exactly. If she was just like everybody else, she wouldn't be Cinder.
Mm-hmm.
She chuckles a little bit and goes, "You're pretty smart. You know that?"
Yeah. I'm smarter than people give me credit for.
"I agree." And you just hear your shadow just go, "Said it for years." And our scene is going to transition a little bit as we end off to a few weeks' time, and Sari has mastered those panpipes and is playing some songs for Caleb, who's clapping a little bit and just goes, "That was really pretty. Sorry. What were you trying to do with my fireplace, though?"
With your what?
You were trying to tell me like that there was a person in the fire. Oh, were you trying to do like the vignette magic that Dragonborn you told me about did?
Yeah. Did I not do it?
No, here's the thing. I saw like the start of it. He's practiced that for years though, so eventually you'll get it down. It's just when I saw you were trying to make magic with my fireplace, I had a little bit of flashbacks.
To what?
My friend,
Who's what friend?
uh, I've told you about her. Anna, she really liked fire magic, so it was a little, brought me back.
Oh yeah. I almost forgot. I had a really cool dream the other day.
Uh-huh.
I think it was a dream anyways. But I saw her.
What?
Anna, I saw her. She talked to me.
In your dream?
Yeah, she said she misses you and that she needs us to all be more powerful and something, and she wants to come back and have a corporeal body, and she said she wanted to give me a hug and and
Caleb,
Caleb,
like,
are you okay?
he is shaking. You're not joking, right? Sorry. be really mean for you to make a joke like that.
Why would I ever make a joke like that?
Because the
I'm
answer,
not a jerk.
because the other thing would be he just gives you a hug.
She like squeezes him as tight as she can.
Do you think you could say hi to her for me if you have enough?
Of course I could. Or she did say she'd talk to Rowan soon. Maybe I can go yell at Rowan.
Andre told me the same thing. One dream is coincidence, but two is either someone's playing a really nasty trick with illusion magic, or I
I mean,
don't
we ate
know.
chocolate cake. I don't think illusions can eat chocolate cake.
That was her favorite. He gives you another hug and just kind of says, "Do you mind if I I think I'm gonna go get some ice cream now."
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'll talk to you later. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. This is a lot to take in, and you know,
Yeah, you
just need a little time.
go chill for a bit.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll start practicing that duet. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks. Sorry, and that's where we'll call it.